Hi, Aries. Welcome to the Power of Three and your general monthly reading for July 2025. If this reading's anything like the last reading I did, I'm going to need a helmet. So I hope after the day I've had today that it isn't. I hope it's, it was a very good reading. It was just hard on me. And my head still hurts. Anyway, jokes for Cancer, I guess. Anyway, Aries, your destiny reading, what does that have to do with Under the Sea? It's related to the movie Back to the Future. You might be familiar with it. Probably you are. And you know that the enchantment under the sea dance at the end is where he has to fix it. Okay? His destiny, his mere, his parents' destiny get thrown off, so his existence is threatened. So it takes the slightest little thing to throw everything off. So the same could be true in your life, your destiny. You might feel like something tampered it, something altered it. But that's what we're looking into. That's what it has to be about Under the Sea, enchantment under the sea, because there's a lot of happiness that was meant to be. And we're going to see whether you found that or not. Let's see what the Holy Spirit has to say to kick this off for you. July 2025 for Aries, their destiny reading. Seek and ye shall find. Oh boy, this is what Cancer's was all about, but this didn't, the card they got. Seek and ye shall find the truth. Find what you're looking for. Your destiny. Maybe things are all set for you, but it doesn't feel right. Something calls from within. This is the wisdom of the oracle for the overall energy for Aries. Thank you to the Holy Spirit, my guides and peeps, for being here with Aries and their destiny reading for July 2025. Observer. Seek and ye shall find. What are you looking for? Who are you looking for? I feel, excuse me. I feel like you could be at the age too where you're like 49. It's card 49, so you could be the age of 49. I don't often feel that, but an age thing where you're 49 and you really don't have anything to complain about. But yet there's something off. There's something missing. You've never really felt that behind me happiness. That enchanted happiness that you expected and didn't get. You know, now they're bringing me to a really weird reference. This is just for you, Aries. Okay. Are you guys familiar with, and it doesn't even matter about the show itself, it's just what you learned from watching the show, but at ask any bride their bridal moment, okay? When they're looking for their bride's, their dress, their wedding dress. And some of them try hundreds of dresses on because they're looking for that moment. The dresses might be nice. They can't find anything wrong with it, but it's not making them fall apart emotionally. You follow me? It's like they turn around and they see themselves and they just have an absolute meltdown. They know that's their dress. Even though they liked 50 other dresses that they tried on, but there was just something missing. They don't even know what it is. And it's that emotion, that attachment. You can't explain it. You can't see it. That's what this is. Supporting energy, is coming from the Healing Waters Oracle. I can finally say it without looking, at least for you, Aries. Sometimes I forget and I have to look. Healing Waters Oracle, which is very symbolic, yes. Supporting energy for Aries, to go with the Observer. Wow. Into the unknown. Underworld depth, courage, facing your fears. The observer with facing your fears. Because those fears are within, maybe facing the fears of not being honest with yourself about where you're at, and the fact that you would have to face people and say, like, that would be the fear, to actually face somebody and be honest, who's done nothing wrong. But it's just like, I'm not really meant to be here with you. You know, you're great, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Have you ever heard that phrase, I love you, but I'm not in love with you? Yeah. That's what we have here. The observer. Whether it's you or maybe it's your person, but I feel like it's you, Aries. You're observing, well, just about everything now, because I feel like, you know, your intuition, your higher self it never stops. It's never stopped poking you in the side, saying, this isn't where you belong. This isn't where you belong. But you carried on your way. But for whatever reason, maybe it's the time. It's time. Maybe it's the awakening that's happening more and more, where everybody is feeling it in their own way. For whatever reason, you're guided to. For you, it's your destiny. You may have set up a perfectly good life. Okay? Like I said, you don't have anything to complain about. But maybe somewhere deep down, you knew it wasn't where you belonged. We'll see. I'm going to start gibby-gabbing about it, and let's see what comes out of the psychic. Psychic of the heart. No. Psychic tarot of the heart. Psychic tarot of the heart. So it's a tarot oracle combo. And we're using that for the main spread. For July 2025, for Aries destiny reading, for their highest good, please. That's too many. Moving on. Maybe some of you are moving on. You just have to face your fears and have courage to be honest with someone who you're probably, I don't know. I kind of get the feeling like some of you, this is why it's going to be so hard, because to tell somebody that maybe you've been with for 15, 20 years that you never were really in love with them. You love them, but you were never really in love with them, and you're moving on. That would be difficult to do. But finally listening to that voice within, because your real destiny, your true destiny is out there somewhere, and you're looking for it. Heart chakra, see? What else can you say? Heart chakra. Your heart is speaking to you. Like I said, your higher self, you're being pulled towards your destiny. You probably don't even know where it is. You just know that you didn't have that bridal moment. That emotional fall apart. It's a different feeling, right? It's a pretty good example, I think. Thank you to my guides for that. Oh. Spread your wings. Spread your wings. So what does that say? Moving on. Heart chakra. You're following your heart for once. You know, maybe we're pressured into this relationship because it was time. But you weren't feeling it, but you did it anyway. Now you're following your heart. You're moving on, you're following your heart, and you're spreading your wings, because seeking you shall find your destiny. But the thing is I feel like you know somewhere else deep within you that you're going to have to go through the underworld to find it. Not that your destiny, you're not destined to be there, but you're just not going to open the door and there it is. No. You're going to have to go through the underworld to and come out the other side. And when you come out the other side of the underworld, your destiny will be there. And you'll be ready for it by then. I feel like I'm a little bit of the bearer of good news and bad news here, but it's not really bad news. It's just the way it has to be. Sacral chakra at the bottom of the deck, and behind that, the crown, the 7th. So this is not your base chakra, but the next one. This is what makes you happy. Crown chakra is your intuition. That's what I've been talking about. Your higher self. You are literally being pulled. You've got 3 chakras here. What? Your happiness, your higher self, and your heart. Moving on, spread your wings. Helen Keller could figure this out. No offense to her. She's a sweet girl from a long time ago, but she couldn't hear. She couldn't speak. All she could do was feel. That's it. She couldn't talk. She couldn't hear. She couldn't see. She was blind, deaf, and mute. Blind, deaf, and mute. Every sense that we have to function, she didn't have. She could figure this out. That's all I'm saying. Because they did teach her. You should, if you're not familiar with that, take a look at it. It's black and white. Because I believe it, she lived back then. So anyway, moving on from that, Aries, we're clarifying for you with the Forest of Enchantment Tarot. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. Moving on. Let's clarify why moving on is here for Aries. I see it. Hangman. You just haven't told anybody yet. But I think this is where it's been going within. You've kind of had this, what do you call it, staff meeting with yourself. Probably over a span of time. And now it's like the new you is birthing. And when you feel like you're ready to be born, look at how this looks. It's not a regular hangman. When you're ready to be born, we'll say, that will be the moment you'll know it's time to say. It's time to let that person know you're moving on. Under the heart chakra, I see it. 3 of Pentacles. Like I said, you're probably more aware of everything around you at this time. You're noticing that pull more and more. The voice. You're being pulled from your destiny is calling. And it's more difficult because there's really nothing wrong with where you're at. It's just not your destiny. It's not where you belong. What a spot to be in. Paying attention to details. Probably getting more and more spiritual as you go. Noticing bird calls. Noticing ravens and crows around you. Just a whole way of life that is calling you. It's pulling at your heart. Spread your wings. For Aries, clarify, spread your wings. The Lovers. The Lovers card traditionally is a choice. Not that it's not about lovers, but you choose. You choose your lover. Maybe some of you have got multiple choices. Do I want that one or do I want that one? Well, this one that you've chose, oh my God. See the scenario where he's laying in her lap. They're out. I feel like that's how it's going to go, Aries, because this person that you're walking away from, You no more want to break their heart than anything else, and that's why you're in the Hangman, because you're not ready to be fully born yet, because in order for you to be fully born and follow your heart, you've got to break someone else's. And you don't want to do that. And I think what you're planning on doing is letting this person know the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And that is that they didn't do anything wrong, and that you are and always will be their friend and there for them if they ever were, if they ever were in need in a humane way, not, in a lover's way, but just that you're not their enemy. But, if they love you enough, they have to let you go, right? You're going to try and it's all you can do is be as kind and loving and honest as you can. This person will be hurt, but they'll also appreciate your honesty. And it'll make it much easier for them to get over it, because you understand, if they're not your destiny, you aren't theirs either. And they'll realize that. Maybe that's a little cue for you here, or this reading, to use that. And if they feel otherwise, then they might later, when they move on down the line, and find their true love as well, or their true destiny, whatever that is. Bottom of this deck. It's the Ace of Swords, but in this deck, it's a white raven, and it's Ace of Challenges. It's challenging sometimes. The truth hurts. Lying isn't going to do anybody any good. You, them, or otherwise. It's just going to make it worse. The white raven, the Ace of Challenge, honesty. Behind that, sunlight. This way, you guys will always be friends, always be connected, be there for each other as friends, and be able to look back with fond memories and respect, even though you ended up parting ways. Wow. Let's see what comes out for your advice. Under the Roses, Lenormand. Everybody's just really been drastically different. That's not good or bad. It's just an observation. For Aries, observer with into the unknown. The stars. Look it. That's exactly what he's... Ooh. Right. In the observer card, that's exactly what he's looking at. Got a telescope and he's looking up at the stars. This is going to sound really, 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 really weird. But you know how you look up in the sky and you can kind of pinpoint the same star all the time? Maybe you're heavily into that kind, like astrology, the stars and planets and stuff like that. Or you are more and more with this Three of Pentacles here in your heart chakra. But you might be kind of getting a screenshot of the sky, and like you do for your birth chart. And that star that sticks out to you that you always find in the sky, where it's at in your view, and when you find your destiny, when you feel that you have met up with your destiny, you want to get another screenshot of the sky and where that star is, if you can, you know what I mean? I know, like I said, it's weird, but might be meaningful to somebody there. Suspension, which is the Hangman, under moving on. The Anchor. You're this is where you've been anchored, but you're if the anchor is card 35. And the observer is 49. So you might have started noticing that you put your anchor down in the wrong spot in the ocean. It's not where you're destined to anchor. But it might have been, do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't just wake up and figure that out. It started eating at you about 35, and then now you could be at the age of 49, where this is like, okay, like I said, this conversation, if it hasn't happened recently, in the very recent past, it's going to in the immediate future. That's what I feel here, but it's been a long time coming. 3 of Pentacles under heart chakra. The ship. The ship is sailing. This is what I mean. You've had that meeting with yourself. You know how it's done. Look at the deck. See, there's your next card. I haven't even shuffled it, so I'm not, just so you know why I'm not going to shuffle it, because it's already sticking up. Your ship is sailing here. So you're spreading your wings. That ship. You might be getting on a ship, but you understand that if you're not, it's a metaphorical where that ship is sailing. You're moving on. It's like the 8 of Wands. You're moving. You're spreading your wings. You're moving on. It's all here. Now, lovers, underspread your wings. Let's see what this is. The key. The key to your freedom, the key to you to move on to your destiny, is to not bring yourself bad karma. Okay? Stay in dharma, not karma. All right? So handle it the right way. Be as honest, kind, patient, gentle, and loving as you can with the person that you're walking away from, so that they understand that they did nothing wrong. It's not them. It's nothing. It's, maybe if you really take it slow and be as loving and as caring as you can, because maybe they felt things are off, but you're going to finally just be honest with them. And it's not like you're going to up and leave that night or anything like that. It's all going to be done honestly, forthright, properly, and with as loving as you can be, leaving someone that you don't hate. You just realize that they're not your destiny. So they aren't with their destiny, and you aren't either. You're just two people that got together, and there just was no bridal moment. Bottom of this deck. Yeah. You will always, forever, it's the locket. You will always keep them, like, you know what I mean? Like, they weren't a bad person. It was a learning experience. You were misguided. Maybe, like I say, you were pressured by your families or whatever to marry. Why not? You get along, you're friends. Sure. Like, this might have been a friend of yours and you just got married because they were there and you were always hanging out and everybody just thought you should. You know what I mean? Just one of those things. But this is where you fix your destiny. That's what this month is about. That's what these readings are about. We're using the Lover's Oracle to close this energy out and give you the message that you need to take away for Aries. It's going to take a while, they're saying. Just like this whole process for you has taken a while. There we go. Oh, ooh. I don't even remember seeing this card before. Do you see that? That's a serpent wrapped around them. Let's see what this says for you. Power. You instinctively know what is right for you And you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. I have goosebumps all over me. Do you believe that? I mean, I do, but just hit the like button, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Let me read that to you again. Serpent wrapped around these two. Power is your closing energy to take away from this. You instinctively know, this is word for word, everything I've just been saying since the entire video from start to finish. That's why I'm just, anyway. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time. The key, the lovers, spread your wings. Like and subscribe, Aries. I hope that this has been the help that it was intended to be. Thank you for your time. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.